outside the West Wallaby Street house of the evil inventor, Mr. Wallace.
Evil?
One of the great bits is choosing the voices for your characters. And we've had an amazing cast. Of course, we've got Ben Whitehead playing Wallace. We've got Peter Kay back as, he was PC Macintosh in Curse of the Were Rabbit.
Been promoted.
Yeah, been promoted.
Yeah.
And he's training up a younger police cadet called PC Mukherjee, played by Lauren Patel.
Yeah.
She's excellent.
And then Rhys Shearsmith
And Rhys Shearsmith
as Norbot.
As Norbot, yeah.
And the process is quite abstract because we don't have much to show them when we first start working with them.
Then the note was more eccentric, so
Okay.
go for it.
Okay. Get me up, Gromit.
And then we do use their vocal performance as a springboard for the physical performance that the animators then bring later on in the process. And you need to think of the animators as actors, really. They are our performers. And we rehearse with the use of live action. So we will go into our live action video booth, the LAV. I think we do every single shot we have done in the LAV. So you could probably make the whole film with Nick or I performing the film. It would be weird, but it is possible. Yeah. And yeah, it's kind of a fundamental key tool for us to talk about the performance of the characters with the animators. I mean, I ride a motorcycle to work every day, so I kind of understand how a motorcycle works. And so we didn't lav it, but we went outside with the animator and got them to sit on a motorbike just so they can feel what it feels like to have that pose. Because that knowledge of how your own body does something is really important to translate into the body of the puppet.
Because it's one thing being able to just animate a puppet, make a puppet move around the set in a vaguely human way, but it's another thing making it seem like the puppet has its own life.
Yeah.
And is living and breathing and has a soul. And
that's the gold, really, isn't it?
Yeah. That's the real skill. Yeah.
Feathers has been possibly the biggest challenge. You know, a character that's so iconic and has lived, you know, in people's memories for so long.
People have been saying for a long time, oh, when are you going to bring back Feathers? And never really found the right place for it. And this seemed like the perfect opportunity. Yeah. It was really to solve a big story issue, a story problem that we were having. With the original story was just about Wallace inventing these mechanical, like smart gnomes, and how they go wrong and cause trouble. But there was always a problem in like what's motivating them and where are they coming from, and so it was like a lightning strike, really.
Part of like what makes him so amazing as a character is the fact that he's a penguin, he's a master criminal. He's disguised himself as a chicken with a rubber glove. Like, it's all so bonkers that he shouldn't be villainous, but the way Nick sort of has created that character, and Merlin, maybe it's like the lack of pupils, the sort of cold, dead eyes. They're not dead, they've even got like a sparkling, like, you know he's thinking, and that comes across in the animation.
Of course, when we first see him in this film, we can switch into our sort of film noir mode. I mean, when we first see him in the prison there.
Where he's incarcerated in the penguin enclosure. It's beautiful. Yeah, and it's also beautifully lit, you know, by Dave, Alex and the lighting camera team.
Yeah. I mean, I love lighting the penguin. I mean, it's such a simple shape. And basically you want to light that inner darkness. And say in the prison there, I've just used the moonlight, blue moonlight on one side and a yellow candlelight flickering on the other side, which helps create, it gets the shape of the penguin. But then is the eyes, those beautiful eyes, which are little beads really. And it's just getting them to catch the light just right, that little glint, so you know there's some malevolent thoughts going on inside that little creature. The beauty of any Wallace and Gromit film is the fact, because we have to create our own reality, it's sort of based on a love of cinema, I would say, because we reference all sorts of genres. I mean, Nick's very good at what I call genre hopping, that we can go from a sort of Ealing comedy look to sort of a Hammer horror, to Hitchcockian suspense.
It is quintessentially English, but it is cinematic. But I think it's embracing genres. When we go dark for feathers and things, it's as dark as Hitchcock would have gone.
Well, it always, the earlier Wallace and Gromit were always very referential. So there was, moments from Brief Encounter or Hitchcock. So at that time, we would sort of kind of imitate that style of music. So in another film, Wrong Trousers, we have the thriller bits. It was very much the Herman type music, which we're using, returns a bit in this film. Yeah.
There's a lot of techniques that hark back to Wrong Trousers. The everlasting corridor, which we'll use a lot in the train chase sequence in Wrong Trousers, we've used that a couple of times in this film, particularly in the bathroom sequence, to basically build a very, very long corridor. And then you can actually loop it and go on forever. Things we can add to that nowadays, we can embellish the effects work in there, the soap suds in the bath, we can have rigs in there which we could remove afterwards. So there's all sorts of ways we've utilised the modern technology, but still going back to some of the tried and tested techniques. Or people seem excited, when there's a new Wallace and Gromit film, because I know they do want to enter that world, as we did when we started filming it again. And they're like old friends. I mean, they really are old friends, and people love to come back and see what they're doing and feel part of it.
And then, of course, you've got the animation and the whole hand-felt charm of it all has culminated in these shots that ultimately, I think, are going to stand the test of time and everyone's going to love. Yeah, it's a great feeling.
I have to pinch myself sometimes to think that they're still on telly. Even my first student film is still regularly on telly.
And people say, "Oh, well, it's going. Oh, I watched that at Christmas." It's part of that sentence that, and we're just delighted that we can continue that with Vengeance Most Fowl. It feels like the right place to be. Cheers.
Cheers, mate. Cheers, me old pal.
Cheers, me old pal.